Hi, and welcome to Stamp with Ginny. Today I'm going to share with you this lovely little card that I created with the Grateful Blessing stamp set and a quick and easy stamp off technique. So let me set this aside and I'll show you how I got started. Okay, I'm going to start with my sentiment for this project, and I'm going to ink this photopolymer up with my Versamark. Now what that does is simply coat it with a little bit of ink that is clear and make my memento cling a little better so I get a better image. And you can see from here that turning it upside down allows you to get that image or that ink on there nicely. And I am going to stamp this up in the corner here slightly to above center. I'm going to count to 3, lift, and I've got that beautiful image. Now this happens to be the die that goes with this die frame also, and I'm using the single die, not the cut edge die, for this layer. It's a little better in that you'll be able to set this on top. I'm going to take my flowers, place it to the left of my sentiment, and stamp. Beautiful image. And then I'm going to bring in my leaf image here for the inside and just add it to the bottom left hand corner for my signature panel. I'm going to move on to my fresh freesia now, and I'm going to bring in a scrap paper because I'm going to stamp this off and then line it up and stamp. There we go. I've got my stamping done and I'm ready to move on to coloring. So I'm going to bring in my stamping blends here, and I'm simply going to pick up my light and add some color to these leaves. I'm filling it in the first time here with the light. And then if you want to add a second tone, you can bring in the dark and just kind of lightly fleck up the side of the stems. There we go. Last but not least, I'm going to bring in my Wink of Stella. I want to add a bit of shimmer to this, and I'm going to press, but I'm not going to press over the top of my image because I don't want to get any splatters. It's always best to do that off to the side. And then I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer, pressing again to refill that, and go over my flowers until the shimmer is where I desire. Now I'm just doing kind of the bell, not the front of the flower with the shimmer because it's a larger space, but you can decide where you want to put your shimmer. So there we go. I've got my shimmer done and I'm ready to start assembling. So I'm going to bring in my designer series paper here, and I'm going to take my large image and adhere that right in the center. And then I'm going to bring in my mat and adhere that down. You're going to love this designer series paper for each color collection. It's got 4 lovely patterns, and you can choose which one you're going to use for what project. I've got that done, and I'm going to bring in my card base here, fold it on the score line, and I'm going to attach this to the front. And then I've got my frame. Now this, it would be best with multi-purpose adhesive sheets, but I forgot to do that, so I'm simply going to tack a little bit of multi-purpose along the outside edge, being careful not to add too much. And of course your fine tip glue pen is perfect for this also because it's got that nice fine tip. And then I'm going to flip it over and adhere it down carefully right along that edge. Now this does bow a little bit, so you can kind of move it in the direction you want since it's so thin. There we go. I'm going to let that dry a second. And I'm going to bring in my Take Your Pick tool and these beautiful 2024 flat pearls. These flat pearls come in both of our in color collections, and you get all 5 colors in each package. So today I'm going to pick up the Petunia Pop, which is what I'm using here with my in color paper, and I'm going to add a few of those little dots underneath here on my sentiment, and then over here, and I think I'm going to place one more, let's see, I think below the flower here, just to add a little bit of shimmer. And if you want, you can add a couple more across your card front. I'm going to add one up here and another small one, I think right about here. There you go, just for a little bit of shimmer and shine. And of course you've got your inside signature panel that you can adhere at this time, or you can simply place it inside for when you're ready to send. So there you go, a beautiful card using the quick and easy stamp off technique and the Grateful Blessings stamp set. And of course, if you'd like any of these products, feel free to stop by my online store. You can get there from my blog, Stamp with Jini. Thanks for joining me.